Okay, so good day everyone. So for today we're going to have a discussion about a research theory. A research theory, of course, refers to the systematic frameworks of principles, concepts, and methodologies that guide the design of conduct and interpretation of research studies. So it provides a structured approach for understanding and explaining phenomena, making predictions and generating new knowledge, and we identify the key aspects, that characterize the research theory. First, we look into the foundation of knowledge, of course, the conceptual framework, hypothesis development, guidance for methodology, the predictive power, and evolution and adaptation, interdisciplinary nature, and the application to the real world problems. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. I'm
Morning.
Jonalyn Atienza po, the second presenter for today. So I'm here to present about research theory. Actually, nag-secure talaga agad kami ng book, sir, for us to know more about this subject. Kasi this is all new to us, especially sa amin mga MBA. We want to know more how to do this research kasi along the way, we know na on our next year or next year pa, we will go more on research. So ito pong topic ko is about research theory. So nung nagbasa ako, initially, most of the words are new to me. Lalo na tong theory talaga. So, dito ko pa lang narinig yung mga ibang word na ngayon ko pa lang narinig sa buhay ko. Which is siguro nung undergrad, we don't focus on that topic yet. So, along the way, habang pinag-aaralan ko siya, doon ko rin nasasabi, may ganun pala. So, let us all, sabay-sabay natin malaman ang topic na about research theory. Next, please. So, the objective of this topic or discussion is to demonstrate understanding about metaphysics and epistemology, inductive and deductive reasoning, also about the hypothetical deductive reasoning for scientific method. We also have positivism, relativism, postmodernism, and critical realism. So, yun yung mga topic na sinasabi ko sa inyo. Hindi ko alam kung sa inyo pamilyar yan, pero para sa akin nung nabasa ko yan, ano daw? Ano to? So, parang nag-second thought ako, nag-second read ako, and then naghanap ako ng ibang reference para yung parang mas madali ko siyang maintindihan. Parang ganon. So, to go further, next po. Let us define what is research first. So, doon naman sa unang topic na i-discuss ni mga research basics kasi ni yun sa chapter 1. So, ito kasi is chapter 2 about theory. So, unang-una, we have to identify or define what is research. Katulad ng sinabi ni Doc Abante kanina, it is acquiring knowledge and developing understanding, collecting facts, and interpreting them to build a picture of world of us and even with us. Tayo naman kapag meron tayong hindi alam or gusto natin, we want to know more, syempre lagi tayo nag-research, di ba? Unang-una, para malaman mo, kailangan na intindihan mo rin para alam mo yung mga data na kailangan mo along the research. And at the same time, may interpret mo along the way. So research is a creative and systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. It involves the collection, organization, and analysis of evidence to increase understanding of a topic characterized by a particular attentiveness to controlling sources of bias and error. Sa research kasi, kailangan creative ka. Kasi dati may alam ka na, dati ka nang alam So, pag nag-research ka, katulad nitong ginagawa natin, kala natin, alam na natin, research theory, madali lang yan, about theory lang yan. Pero along the way, To go deeper, dahil nga rin sa research, is mas marami pa tayong malalamang knowledge in a systematic work lang. Dahil, alam mo na, pero nung nag-research ka, may mga mas marami ka pa palang malalaman. At eto, mas magiging constructive yung mga idea na mahanap mo. It is fair obvious then that we should hold a view of what knowledge is and how we can make sense of our surrounding. These views will be based on philosophical instance that we take. So doon na papasok yung philosophical stance, which is sa susunod nating mga topic is yun talaga yung magfo-focus yung about research theory. So to define philosophy, it consists of learning about how theory after theory has been erected, only to be torn down by subsequent one, and that it has little bearing on day-to-day practice of research and only cause confusion. Minsan pag ginagamitan ng philosophy, lalo tayong nalilito, di ba? Dati pa naman yon, pero ngayon, kapag nagiging mas philosophical tayo, lalong lumalalim kasi yung mga idea o yung mga topic. So, sa next topic is, eto wala to sa book. So, idinagdag ko lang to go deeper para dun sa topic ko. What is the definition of theory in research? Sabi, it is in everyday use, the word theory has been untested hunch or a guess without supporting evidence. But for scientists, a theory has nearly the opposite meaning. A theory is a well-substantial explanation of an aspect of the natural world that incorporate laws, hypotheses, and facts. Minsan kasi tayo kapag, ay theory lang yan, hindi yan totoo, wala ka namang ebidensya. Pero opposite yan sa scientists. Lagi nilang hahanapan ng scientific explanation. Lagi mong sasabihin, kahit sa simpleng bagay, sige nga, anong scientific explanation? Kunwari lang nga, yung usog, naniniwala ba kayo sa usog? Di ba hindi? Kapag yung mga magulang natin o lolo-lola, naniniwala sila. Pero dahil wala siyang scientific explanation, hindi tayo naniniwala agad-agad. Pero along the way, yun lang kasi yung yung term. Pero talagang may scientific explanation, may sakit talaga na ganun. So parang ganun siya na ang mga scientists, opposite meaning nun. Laging merong evidence sa lahat. Laging may paliwanag. Theories are vital because they guide and give meaning to what we see. So when a researcher investigates and collects information through observation, the investigator needs a clear idea of what information is important to collect. Thus, valid theories are validated by research, are a sound basis for practical action. Marami kasi tayo talagang makukuhang idea, information, but we have to filter din kung ano lang yung important or mahalaga para doon sa ginagawa nating research. The next po. So, here are the different ways of doing research depending on your assumption. Ito na yung mga topic na nilagay natin doon sa objective natin kanina. So, eto, we have the metaphysics, which is concerned with the questions such as what it is to be, who we are, what is knowledge, what are the things, and what is time and space. So, ito, lahat ko ni-question niya. So, nung naghahanap ako ng example, ito yung mga lumabas, existence, what is being, what is our purpose, lahat na lang may tinanong, universals, property, relations, space, time, and event. So, we have two topics under metaphysics, which is idealism and materialism. Sabi sa idealism, it advocates that reality is all in the mind, that everything that exists is in some way dependent on the activity of the mind. So, kapag may narinig kang music, example, hindi yun sound. Emotional experience mo lang yun. Nasa mind mo lang yun. So, yun yung explanation ng idealism. When it comes to materialism naman, it insists that only physical things and their interactions exist and that our minds and consciousness are wholly due to the active operation of material. So more on, kung yung idealism, it's all in the mind, etong materialism, physical things naman to. So kapag may narinig kang music, vibration lang yan ng air. Kasi nga may interaction, di ba, ng mga leaves, ng mga air, yun. So yun yung explanation between idealism and materialism under metaphysics. Next po. So, aside from metaphysics, eto pa yon, yung epistemology. Yung epistemology naman, it is the theory of knowledge, especially about its validation and method. It deals on how we know things and what we can regard as acceptable knowledge in discipline. It is also concerned with the reliability of our senses and the power of mind. Example, when the clock is working properly, my belief is true and justified dahil tama yung clock because it displays accurate time. So yun naman yung ibig sabihin ng epistemology, theory of knowledge. Basta yun yung keyword doon. Pag sinabing epistemology, theory of knowledge. So, to go further, before going further, meron ba kayong mga idea? Itatanong ko lang sa mga classmates ko. May mga idea na ba kayo before about this metaphysics and epistemology? Have you heard this before? Are you there pa ba? Classmates? Galaw-galaw. Classmates?
Wala po. Wala po. Nakalimutan.
Hindi mo pa yan narinig, no? Yung iba?
Hindi
Narinig mo
pa.
na ba? Ngayon lang rin. O, sabay-sabay natin.
Not yet.
Sabay-sabay natin pag-aralan. Para ngayon lang talaga naging yung mga terms na yan sa akin lalo na rin.
Di ba, ma'am? On your 40th existence.
Grabe. Talagang binuko mo yung edad ko, Miss Jonas. Oo, Miss Jonas, medyo bago sa akin itong mga terminologies na binabanggit mo. So, sabay-sabay talaga natin siyang aralin at intindihin.
Kaya nga po kami. Thank you, ma'am. Actually, nung nabasa ko yung topic ko, napa-research din ako eh. Kasi kapag nag-rely lang rin naman ako lahat sa book, sabi ko parang I wanted to go deeper kasi nga para mas lalo nating maintindihan on a layman's term, yung parang may mababaw lang muna na concern. Though ang ganda na nga kasi ng books kasi very na siya, direct to the point. Para naghanap na lang ako ng mga iba pang example para lalo tayong makarelate. So basta yung sa metaphysics, yan lagi kini-question niya, what it is to be, who we are, what is knowledge, lahat kini-question niya. Basta yung pinagkaiba niya sa epistemology, it is a theory of knowledge naman. So under epistemology, we have the empiricism, and nationalism. So yung empiricism, knowledge gained by sensory experience using inductive reasoning. Parang yan, learning to speak. Yan, empiricism yan kasi may sensory experience. Another is the rationalism, a knowledge gained by reasoning using deductive reasoning. Deduction means applying principle to draw conclusion. Ang sabi, for any rectangle, the same principle is to find the area. Regardless kung anong klaseng rectangle pa yan, inverted, basta ang principle ng pag-find ng area ng rectangle is just the same. So next po. So eto, naghanap ako ng pwedeng maging comparison nilang dalawa para mas lalo pa natin siyang maintindihan. So sabi dito, pag rationalism, reason is the source of knowledge. Pag empiricism, the senses are the source of knowledge. So So, pag rational, reason. Pag empiricism, senses yung ginagamit natin. Tapos, kapag rationalism, mind contains innate ideas. Ang sa empiricism naman, alam ko narinig nyo na rin to before, mind is a tabula rasa. Empty talaga yung mind natin. So, along the way, dun pa lang tayo makakahanap ng mga laman yan habang lumalaki tayo. Ang sabi kasi sa rationalism, meron na tayong ideas dati pa before pa tayo ipanganak, parang gano'n. Rationalism, math is a model for knowledge. Sa empiricism naman, biology is a model for knowledge. So, ito math, ito biology. Knowledge can be gained a priori. Ito naman, knowledge is only gained a posteriori. Yan. Tapos, knowledge can be certain. Ito, knowledge can only ever be probable. Ito, sa rationalism, sure na sure siya. Ito, probability pa lang rin eh. The senses are easily pulled. Reason only gives us access to uninformative tautologies. Example ng rationalism, yan, sila Plato, Augustine, Descartes, yan. Example naman ng sa empiricism, yung mga philosopher natin, yan, si Aristotle, si Locke, si Berkeley, at saka si yan yung differentiation ng rationalism and empiricism. Next po. So, inductive and deductive reasoning. So, dun sa nakita nyo kanina, din sa epistemology, meron din dyan, under yan, another topic is inductive and deductive reasoning. So, we have to know more about inductive and deductive reasoning. Ang inductive reasoning, it starts from specific observation or sensory experience, then develop a general conclusion from them. Yun yung inductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning naman, it begins with general statement and through logical argument comes specific conclusion. In combination na ito na yung syllogism, it is a simple form of deductive argument. So we have here yun ulit, comparison uli ng inductive and deductive reasoning. Ang sabi nga, no matter how unrealistic that sounds in many fields such as science and law, proof simply doesn't exist. There can only be fact and evidence that lead you to certain conclusion. So kapag may narinig kang sound sa field, hindi mo pwedeng i-assume na, ay may hayop lang kasi dyan, kaya ay dyan nakatira yung mga hayop, kaya doon nagagaling yung sounds. Kailangan may proof talaga. Kasi may mga instance na, yun nga, it's all in the mind lang about dito sa theory. So, ano pinagkaiba ng inductive and deductive reasoning? Inductive reasoning, someone who uses inductive reasoning makes specific observations, then draws a general conclusion. Kapag deductive reasoning kasi, is a specific conclusions follows a general theory. Kunwari nga, may sounds. Tapos sabi mo, baka may hayop. Pero yung opposite nun, sasabihin ng isa, no, it's all in the mind. Wala naman, it's all in your mind. Wala naman kaming naririnig Ikaw lang naman nakakarinig. Yung parang gano'n. Lagi siya naghahanap ng explanation. Lagi siya naghahanap ng proof. Parang gano'n. When you're using inductive reasoning, correct observation won't necessarily lead you to correct general conclusion. Sabi sa inductive. Sa deductive naman daw, when you're using deductive reasoning, your conclusion will be correct if all the statement you say is correct. So, ito yung kinuha kong example, comparison kasi may example to eh. So, an example ng inductive reasoning. Every quiz has been easy. Therefore, the test will be easy. Yun ba yung yun yung sa inductive Totoo ba yun na, di ba, nag-quiz kayo everyday sa school? So, therefore, yung summative test nyo, easy na lang rin. Totoo kaya yun? Fact kaya yun?
Hindi.
Based on experience.
Yeah. Based on experience, I may not say that it is. I mean, sometimes when you review and then the exam would not be the same with what you have reviewed. Diba? Parang idea ko lang naman. Maybe it is in my mind. Maybe it's in my mind nga
Kaya
lang.
nga. Ibig sabihin,
Oo,
pero
tama.
may explanation para talaga lahat ng bagay dito sa
Yes.
mundo, do? Sabi niya, the teacher used PowerPoint presentation in the last few classes. Therefore, the teacher will use PowerPoint presentation tomorrow. Pwede ba yon? Ginamit niya, nag-PowerPoint presentation, PPT siya ngayon sa last class niya. Ay, siguro PPT rin yung gagamitin niya bukas. So, lagi tayong hindi sigurado, laging siguro. So, yun yung inductive reasoning. Sa deductive reasoning naman, eto example. All students in this class play guitar. Sam is a student of this class. Therefore, Sam play guitars. Ano yon? Siguro o sigurado? Eto sa deductive. Dito sa sigurado. Kasi, sabi nga, all students sa class na yun nagpe-play guitar. Kunwari, isa ka doon. So, malamang, therefore, isa ka sa nagpe-play ng guitar. Eto, yun na lang yung parang mababaw na hinahanapan ko ng meaning at example for us to know better. Tapos, at the conference, all the people present are 30 or older. Maria is in the room. Therefore, Maria is at least 30. So, sigurado kasi nga sabi niya 30 or older nandun si Maria. So, malamang 30 or older siya. So, yun yung sa deductive reasoning. Yung sa syllogism naman, simplest form of deductive argument. Wala na siya dyan sa example. Next po. Ito, another topic to. Ito naman yung about hypothetical deductive reasoning or scientific method. Yung simple term niya. Hypothetical deductive reasoning. Pero alam ko, ginagamit na natin ito dati sa elementary pa lang tayo, yung mga scientific method na yan sa science activity natin. Yung hypothetical deductive reasoning or scientific method, it is the combination of experience with deductive reasoning, which is the foundation of modern scientific research and is commonly referred to as scientific method. So, hypothetical deductive reasoning method combines inductive and deductive reasoning, resulting in the to and fro process of, so parang ito rin yung mga ginagawa natin dati, identification of the problem, developing hypothesis, charting their implications by deduction, practical or theoretical testing of the hypothesis, rejecting or refining it in the light of the results. Natatandaan niyo pa ba dati mga scientific activity niyo na ginawa niyo sa school na ginamitan natin ng mga scientific method? Doon lumalabas yung inductive and deductive reasoning, di ba? Minsan siguro alam na try niyo na ba yung yung parang gagawa ng vulkan dati sa science natin? Na ganun ba kayo? May ganun ba? Hindi nyo na-try? Ano na yung mga scientific, na-try nyo? Ano na mga scientific activity yung na-try nyo nung nag-aaral kayo? So doon, minsan hindi rin tayo sigurado sa hypothesis natin, di ba? I therefore conclude that ganito, ganon. Pero minsan, yun yung inductive. Pero minsan, sure ka na yun yung magiging conclusion I therefore conclude that ganito, ganito. So, yun yung combination ng inductive and deductive. So, eto pa yung sa next topic is about positivism and relativism. Tapos na tayo. There are some, na tayo? Reliability dyan. Hypothetical. So, positivism, relativism, and postmodernism, and critical realism. So, eto pa yung mga ibang topic na kailangan natin i-dig deeper. So, yung positivism, the positivist approach to scientific investigation is based on the acceptance as fact that the world around us is real and that can we find out about the realities. Positivism yon. Sa relativism naman, ang sabi niya, it is based on the philosophical doctrines of idealism and humanism. So, eto, naghanap uli ako ng differentiation between positivism and realism. Sabi dito, positivism daw, philosophical theory that claims that whatever exists can be verified through observation, experiments, and mathematical logical evidence. Samantalang yung realism or relativism is the philosophical view that claims that the world exists independent on the mind. So, pwede pala yun na hanggang ngayon, umabot na tayo sa ganito, 2024, ano lang pala to, it's all in the mind. Panaginip lang pala to. So, yun yung sa realism. Sa positivism naman, only accepts that those that can be scientifically verified are capable of logical or mathematical proof, rejects metaphysics and theism. Sabi naman sa realism, describes the nature of reality in general. It claims that the world exists independent on the mind. So, laging it's on the mind lang talaga. Epistemological, so ito mainly metaphysical. Reject subjects like metaphysics and theism is they cannot scientifically or logically proven. Kasi nga, itong positivism, more on math siya. Yung isa naman, more on biology. Sabi niya, it's all in the mind. So, relate to materialist assumptions that underlie scientific method that relate to materialistic view of metaphysics and positivist view of epistemology. So, ito another topic na naman siya. Related yan dun sa hypothetical deductive reasoning. Ang sabi dito, pag sa order daw, the universe is an ordered system that can be investigated and the underlying rules can be exposed. Sa external reality naman, ine-explain niya na we all share same reality that does not depend on our existence. Minsan kasi may mga tao na may sarili ng mundo, di ba? Pero dito sa external reality, lahat tayo, tayo nasa 2024, baka may naiwan pa sa 19 kopong-kopong, ha? So, yun. Sa reliability naman, we can rely on our senses and reasoning to produce facts that reliably interpret reality. Sa generality, the rules of reality discovered through research can be applied in all relevant situations regardless of time and place. Yan lang naman yung mga assumptions that underlie scientific method. Para ma-relate lang natin siya, yung scientific method, para ma-relate lang natin siya dun sa topic ng metaphysics and epistemology. Next po. Alam ko, yan, okay na tayo dyan sa... Ito yung meron pa, ito yung last topic yung postmodernism and critical realism. Yung postmodernism, it challenges key issues such as meaning, knowledge, and truth, which have opened up new perspective and ideas. Yung critical realism, it is a branch of philosophy that distinguishes between the real world and the observable world. The real cannot be observed and exists independent from human perception, theories, and constructions. Meron ba akong ginawang ano yan? Next po. Yan yung comparison niya para yung positivist and relativist. Pag sa positivist paradigm, facts exist objectively. Facts exist only in context or in the mind. Factual dispute is about the actual truth of the matter. Factual dispute is really a clash of narratives. So, argument seeks to garner the best, most objective evidence, while dito sa relativist, argument is tawag dito, asan na yun, sorry. Dun muna po. Sa positivist, yan. Argument is appropriately the selection of facts to create more powerful narrative. Subjectivity is to be avoided as an interference to rationality, Ito naman sa relativist, subjectivity is embraced as the primary tool in narrative building. So, yun yung comparison nila. So, saan ba talaga nagmula ang lahat ng itong mga theory na to? So, sa next topic natin, makikita natin na yan ay based din sa mga key figures ng mga along the way bago tayo naging 2024. Sino ba yung mga tinatawag nilang philosopher na nakapag-isip, nag-research about dito sa mga pinag-aaralan natin na to. So, yan yung next na topic, key figures that have influenced thinking about research. Next po. Ito na yung last. So, ito, sa lahat ng to, alam ko naman familiar na kayo kay Plato and Aristotle. So, ito kasi very opposite silang dalawa sa kanilang mga pag-iisip. So, yung isa nasa real world, yung isa, yung word niya nandun lang, it's all in the mind. So, yun, eto yun. Sabi si Plato daw, particular was less real. Sabi niya, sabi naman ni Aristotle, universe was less real. Substance is transitory. Substance needs matter. Form is static. True nature is evolved. Sabi nito. Fear of change. Sabi ni Plato. Ayaw niyan change. Si Aristotle naman, change is inevitable to progress. Founded academy. Sito founded lyceum. So, mystic, logician, belitter of natural, observer of natural science, math, highest form of thinking. Ito naman si Aristotle, separated math and science. So, on the next page, ito pa yung mga key figures that have influenced thinking about research. Yung mga contribution nila sa philosophy and about sa research, nandun naman sa books. So, nandyan sa si Rene Descartes, noong 1596 to 1650, ang sabi niya, provided the starting point for modern philosophy by using method of systematic doubt, that we cannot rely on senses or logic. Therefore, we challenge all to sought for the basic of certainty and knowledge. His famous maxim, siya yun, I think, therefore I am. Yun yung yun yung maxim. I can only be sure of my own existence, the rest must be doubted. Basta sure siya sa existence niya. Yung iba, doubt na siya. Existence ng ibang tao sa paligid niya. So, eto rin, may have John Locke. He made the distinction between bodies or objects that can be directly measured. So, si George Berkeley, he argued that all things that exist are only mental phenomena. David Hume, he made distinction between systems of ideas that can provide certainties, example niyan, mathematics, that those that rely on our perception, like empirical evidence, which are not certain. We also have Immanuel Kant. He held that our minds organize our experience to make sense of the world. Karl Popper, he formulated a combination of deductive and inductive thinking in the hypothetical-deductive method. Si Auguste Comte, he maintained that society can be analyzed empirically, just like any other subject of scientific inquiry. Si Karl Marx naman, he defined moral and social aspect of humanity in terms of material forces. So, ito lang parang sa akin sa lahat ng to, aside kay Emile Durkheim, Max Weber, Thomas Kuhn, and Michael Foucault, and Jacques Derrida, yan lahat na yan. Familiar ba kayo dyan? Narinig niyo na ba yan, mga yan sa tanang buhay nyo? Ako kasi kaya highlights ko lang si Plato and si Aristotle, siya lang talaga yung tumatak sa akin hanggang ngayon eh. Pero yung the rest, parang hindi ko na sila naabutan, hindi ko na sila na-meet kahit yung mga pangalan lang nila. So kaya nag-focus ako more on doon kay Plato and Aristotle. But if you want to know more about this mga key figures, lahat naman ng contribution nila sa research was indicated in the last part of the book of chapter 2. So that's all for chapter 2. Do you have any questions po?
Congratulations. The topic was really much interesting. It seems that we're going to back for the, yung mga past natin. Parang ganon, 'di ba?
Yes.
Ang ganda. Parang it's going to be like a reality versus theory and the facts, the data, no?
Oh, it's all in the mind lang talaga eh, no?
Oo nga. I love the topic. Thank you, Miss Jonna.
Thank you, Miss Reggie.
So, ayan po. Tuloy ko na po yung balik tayo sa chapter 1. Pasensya na po. Ayan, naka-download na ako. So, ang chapter 1 natin is about, ayan. Yun, about research basics po tayo. Nag-search lang din ako ng reference ko, sa internet. So, hindi to
Wait for a while, sir. Wait for a while, sir.
Ano po?
Wait for a while. Okay. Our presenter actually a while ago mentioned about some terminologies that is rooted about research. But of course, since you are took up Masters in Business Administration, we look into a research theory at the same time with which serve as a foundation of knowledge, within a specific field of discipline. So it encompasses the fundamental principles and assumptions that shapes the researchers understand of the subject matter, influencing the formulation of the research question and hypothesis at the same time. In this aspect of a research theory, most commonly, this is the same, based on what you have experienced during your undergraduate program, So we look into some conceptual frameworks. That's not only theory, but when we say theory, this will be our basis in crafting our research. Now, when we say conceptual framework, maybe there's somebody who are assigned to discuss the difference between the conceptual and theoretical framework. But most commonly, the conceptual frameworks are derived from the theoretical perspective. Now, how, let's say, for example, if you wanted to apply the 6 C's of the leadership training or leadership traits, so you need also to include this theory into your conceptual frameworks, and this frameworks outlines the key concepts, variables in relationship under investigation, so providing a roadmap of organizing and interpreting data. So the conceptual framework is an essential element of a research theory. Okay? Research theory plays a crucial role actually also in hypothesis development, because it helps researchers formulate educated predictions about the relationship between variables based on existing theories or empirical evidence. Hypothesis itself guide the research process by providing testable statement that can be examined through data collection and analysis. A while ago, our presenter mentioned this about we need to prove something, or we are not agreeable to the previous researches, and so on. The choice of research methodology and theory, including the data collection methods and analysis technique, is influenced by research theory. The choice of a research methodology, including data collection methods and analysis techniques, is influenced by research theory, because different theories may call for distinct approaches such as qualitative, quantitative methods, experimental design, or case study, or yung tinatawag natin na multi-disciplinary. Or sometimes it depending on the nature of your research questions. On research theories often possess predictive power, allowing researchers to anticipate outcomes based on established principles. And this predictive aspect is valuable for both explanatory and explanatory research, as it provides a basis for making informed predictions and understanding patterns in the data. Research theory is dynamic in a sense that it can evolve over time as new evidence emerge or societal context change, theories may be defined, expanded, or either replaced, no? Because the evolution of research theory reflects the ongoing nature of scientific inquiry and the pursuit of deeper understanding of the world. Many research theories are interdisciplinary, drawing on concepts and principles from multiple disciplines. And this interdisciplinary nature enriches, no, the research process, no, fostering a more comprehensive and nuanced understanding of complex phenomena that may span different academic domains. So while research theory provides a structured framework for academic inquiry, its ultimate value lies in its application to a real-world problems, specifically for the research in business field. The insights gained from theoretical perspective can inform practical solutions, policy development, and advancement in various fields. So research theory is an integral part of the scientific research process, shaping the way researchers approach their inquiries and interpret findings or their findings. It provides a structured and systematic foundation for generating knowledge, no? Fostering intellectual growth within disciplines, and contributing to a broader understanding of the world. And that is the research theory.